heard you talk about how, what is our first marker of perimenopause? Because in our clinic, we hear, I wake up at 3 a.m. I wake up at 2 a.m. And that is like a key little clue for us clinicians that, hey, you might be starting down that path. But when you all measured hormones, there was one that I heard you speak about. Can you touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, so that's really interesting. And I think the reason it's such an early symptom that women experience is because the first hormone, to our knowledge, all of this is taken with a grain of salt because this is women's health. We don't have much data. But to our knowledge, the first hormone that starts to decline when you're going into perimenopause is not estrogen and it's not progesterone. It's melatonin. So melatonin, which we know is like the hormone of sleep, is the first that starts its decline typically in your 30s. And then that's what triggers that elevation in FSH, and then eventually that disruption in ovulation, decline in progesterone, decline in estrogen. So those early symptoms of waking up in the morning or even like anxiety, just like a disrupted circadian rhythm, is not something to ignore for sure. And many women choose to supplement melatonin for that reason, not just for sleep, but also as an ovarian health support. There's a lot of strong data on melatonin for ovulation in the fertility space, and now we're getting more and more data of how it could potentially help ovarian longevity, but obviously nothing interventional there yet. So that's a really exciting one to look at. I really would explore slow release melatonins because many melatonins don't address the main problem that perimenopausal women start to experience, which is that they can sleep, but then they wake up.
Yes.
They can't access deep sleep. They can't stay asleep. So slow release melatonins that stay in your system are really what's going to help you get those hours.
In my 30s, I thought it was just because I was running wide open.
Or
Like
you have
kids
children,
and,
yes.
kids and
Lots
ball
on your
and
mind.
career and, all of the things. And I thought, I'm just running wide open. No wonder I'm exhausted. And then you get have you ever been so tired that like the tears are coming out of your eyes? And then you go to bed and you're like, hello, I want to think about everything right now. That kind of tired.
Yeah.
So, not knowing that that's a prerequisite for perimenopause. Just thought it was lifestyle.
Right.
It's challenging because life is not a randomly controlled trial.
No, right.
Yeah, we have so many things influencing us. Like I know people who went through postpartum and peri at the same time. They don't know if they're if that triggered it's really challenging the type of things people go through. And that's why I say this when we're developing our blogs as well, is if you're writing a blog on PCOS, you can't just write a blog on PCOS. You have to write a blog on PCOS. PCOS during the perimenopausal transition. Lean PCOS. Women's health is an overlap of a bunch of complicated conditions that in many cases were misnamed. So it's really important to look at these intersections because what you describe could very easily be dismissed as is the condition of parenthood, right? It also is associated with peri.
Yes. Yeah.